ASMR Magical Tools. Hi Aries. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's see what we can expect for you for the week ahead, September 27th through October 3rd. To start out, we've got the Chariot card reversed. You could be chomping at the bit to get moving on something. The Chariot card is about mobility. It's also about victory. This isn't necessarily a victory denied, but it could be that you had to change direction, or it could be that they moved the goalposts. Next, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords can be a painful ending, but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes the Ten of Swords is just an ending. And especially because we have that Chariot card there in the reverse, it looks like you were headed toward something where you wanted to be victorious, and things got shifted around on you. We also have the Page of Cups coming out, and the Page of Cups can be an offer of love or an offer of a new job. So that could be where you're headed next. Let's pull some more cards and find out. We have a couple of very favorable cards. So this is the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is a fire sign person, most likely. This could be you in the reading. The Queen of Wands is often associated with the sign of Leo. That doesn't necessarily have to be the case. So the Queen of Wands is somebody who's very charismatic, someone who lights up a room when they walk into it, somebody who's a sparkling conversationalist and very confident. And along with this card, we have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles can be loaning money to others, or it can be speculation of some kind, whether that's gambling or money markets. And the thing about the Six of Pentacles is there's an implication there that you have enough money that you're able to invest in these risky types of that you're able to make risky investments. Sorry, I get my words tied up sometimes. And the final card for your reading this week is the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords is about betrayal. It's about underhanded dealings, especially because we have this Six of Pentacles here with some kind of speculation. I'd be very careful. If this Queen of Wands isn't you, that could be someone who's very charismatic and could easily convince you to part with your money. So just be mindful of these things. But the figure here on the Seven of Swords, for one, he's not taking all of the swords. There are 2 swords left behind. And for 2, he's looking over his shoulder. He's very worried that he might get caught. So keep an eye out for this, Aries, over the week ahead. Alright, Aries, so this is going to be your crystal scrying for the week ahead, September 27th through October 3rd. I will be using this very gnarly looking geode. You're waiting for a call back from somebody. It could be about a job interview. It could be about a financial investment opportunity. You were looking for signs, you were seeing those signs, and then the signs kind of directed you like off the road. Almost like you see all these signs to, and I'm like, I feel like I'm out in the desert. You see these signs for like the park or the hotel or the place where you're going, and you keep following them, and the roads keep getting rougher and rougher. And eventually you find yourself just out in the middle of the desert, kind of stranded. But it's not a dire situation. I feel like I said something to you like this last week. But I get a very peaceful feeling here. And you kind of set up a tent, get comfortable, settle in. And you're like, maybe I could raise some children here. This seems like a nice spot. Seems like as good a spot as any, I guess. You might be getting too comfortable in I'm hearing dangerous places, but I don't know if it's necessarily, I don't think dangerous is a word that really conveys it properly, because dangerous kind of like is an over-exaggeration of the situation, that it's not dangerous, it's just not the proper place for you, possibly, and thus is going to result in you being pushed out vibrationally. There's something that occurs for some of us on a regular basis where when you're in a situation that is not with your vibrational alignment, you end up getting pushed out of it. And that could be something that you're dealing with. And to you, it seems like a very normal situation and like a place that you could get comfortable, that you could get accustomed to. Calling ahead with your pizza. What is that about? It's not like calling ahead with your pizza order. It's like they have to call you. This could be about a job interview, but it could also be about some kind of situation where you have to wait to hear back from the person, that it's not advisable to follow up with them, possibly. And let me close my eyes for a minute. They're walking it back. They're walking something back for you. Well, I don't know if I want to make that offer. I kind of want to see if that's something we can negotiate, if I have the power to negotiate that. That initially you get a very good offer, and then they kind of start walking stuff back. So make sure that anything, also keep in mind we are Mercury retrograde in Libra, but anything that you end up signing this week, make sure that you make sure you read it very carefully, and don't sign up for too many things like trial shifts or situations where they're like, we'll try you out, and if we like you, maybe we'll pay you. Try to avoid spec work while Mercury is retrograde in Libra. Mercury is going to be going direct on October 18th. So anything that can wait a couple of weeks, I recommend on holding off. All right, Aries, and if you would, please direct your questions here into the cover of the book. This one here. This one here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This one over here. Yeah. Great, 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 great. Yes, the recovery of thy goods will be unexpected, 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 unexpected. So, remember that Seven of Swords that we had in the tarot spread. If you lose money, it could be that you recover it in an unexpected way. It could be that if somebody takes something from you, also, maybe you find it randomly. Aries, thank you so much for joining me this week. I always greatly enjoy our time together, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hi, Taurus. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Taurus, let's see what's going on for the week ahead. This is September 27th through October 3rd. We're starting out your reading this week with quite a few strong major arcana cards. We have the Emperor showing up in the reverse. You could have a boss who's a bit of a despot. You could have somebody who's trying to keep you under their thumb or keep you oppressed in something, or a situation could be oppressive. The Emperor, unlike the Ten of Wands, so the Emperor reversed is a little bit like the Ten of Wands, right? With the burdens and the oppression. But the thing about this is it's coming directly from this individual. They could be treating you very unfairly, and they could be somebody who's in a position of power over you. And then we also have these two good friends, the Magician and the High Priestess. I always felt like in the tarot, the Magician and the High Priestess were much closer together than the High Priestess and the Hierophant. I always thought the Hierophant and the Hermit were much better friends. And a lot of times in religious organizations, celibacy is encouraged within different religious orders, so I don't know necessarily that the High Priestess and the Hierophant would be a couple anyway. But anyway, what we have here is the Magician and the High Priestess. They're both upright. So the Magician has mastery over all of these tools here on his table. And he also has this lemniscate, the symbol of infinity, over his head. You could be manifesting like crazy right now, and especially if you're dealing with somebody like this, that would make a lot of sense. And you have the help of the High Priestess. The High Priestess is someone who works with the moon cycles, someone who is very attuned to the nature of the universe, a lot like the Magician, how the Magician is attuned to the four elements through the tools that they use. The High Priestess, too, is attuned to those energies and can read the secrets of the universe. So you could have some very powerful information at your fingertips at this time. In the next row here, we have the Ten of Pentacles. It could be the completion of a financial cycle for you. Ten of Pentacles reversed could be leaving some kind of financial situation, like a job. And it could be due to that Emperor in the reverse. It could be a completion, but without closure, too. We have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. You might very much like to leave a situation, but feel like you are unable. The Eight of Cups is something which is very nearly complete, but not quite. And the final card we have for your reading this week, Taurus. So despite that Ten of Pentacles and Eight of Cups showing up in the reverse, there will be closure for you, and it will come swiftly. We have the Eight of Wands here to close out your reading for this week. Hello, Taurus. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. going to be using this really gnarly geode this week. Taurus. I'm not super familiar with that movie Spellbound. I think it had Ingrid Bergman in it, possibly. Oh, what is it with you and the Bergman movies? I remember one time, I was getting a message for you about the Seventh Seal, and now we're talking about Spellbound. So, what's the deal with Spellbound? It's got this part in it that was put together by Salvador Dali, the surrealist dream sequence with all the eyes. Feeling like you have a lot of eyes on you. There was another part to this too. A factory worker gets his hand caught in the machinery. There's a workman's comp case, and everything's settled out of court. And the hope is that at the very least, it will lead to better safety regulations. However, that's not a guarantee. And especially if there's not a huge legal case made out of it, they're going to weigh the cost of protecting human life against fixing whatever it is that caused the accident. If it was something like an error that through proper signage or having a lockout tagout procedure or something like that maybe they could fix it. They're going to weigh that cost differential. So there might be a situation that gets a little frustrating for you over the week ahead where a workplace is weighing a cost differential instead of just doing what's in the best interest of human life. You might be getting very worked up about this. And it's not like you're not justified. That's not what I'm saying. But it's diminishing your happiness, and it's allowing this person who's making this faulty decision to have more influence in your life than they are due. And unless you're going to channel that into some kind of malefica, don't harbor that energy in your life. And it seems very easy to say that and very difficult to do. But actually, it becomes easier and easier over time to realize that when you let go of situations like that they're actually holding you back. And it opens up space for you to have much better situations that are much more vibrationally aligned to you enter your life. All right, Taurus. So, aside from hearing my neighbor leave his apartment 15 times in a row, which I didn't even know was possible under the laws of physics, I complain, but it doesn't really bother me as long as it doesn't bother you. If you would, send your questions my way. one. Yeah, we got another one down here. All right. Great, great. And one right up here. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Submit to no arbitration, but abide by the verdict of an honest jury. Taurus, if you're being offered a settlement, it might be advisable to take it to court. But of course, the lawyer that you have hired is going to know much more about that than I will. Thank you so much for joining me today, Taurus, for your weekly reading. Your likes, your comments, and your subscriptions are greatly, 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 greatly appreciated. Thank you for helping me hit 1,500 subscribers. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Gemini, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Let's see what is in store for your week ahead. We have an interesting few cards that have come out for you so far. So we have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. And the Ace of Cups is about new emotional beginnings. It is pure water energy, pure emotional energy. And you can see here that more water is going to be pouring out of that chalice because it is inverted, then will be coming back in. You could be expending a lot of emotional energy at this time. The Ace of Cups can also be about emotional beginnings. And we have here for you the Six of Cups coming out in the upright position. So Six of Cups upright like this has to do with, it can be your early childhood, has a lot to do with nostalgia and looking to the past. This can also be things returning from the past. Now, because we had that Ace of Cups coming out in the reverse, and we have the Six of Cups in the upright, there could be a situation that is returning from the past. If that's the case, there's not going to be a new and emotional start to that situation. You're going to end up picking up right where you left off. For better or for worse. And the next card we have for your reading is the Strength card. Now, this figure is not strong through brute strength. She is strong through force of will. She's enforcing her will on this lion, and she's doing it in a very gentle and taming manner. She has this lemniscate over her head, the symbol for eternity, which makes this card similar in many ways to the Magician card, where we're talking about mastery and the mastery of strength, the mastery of strength of will, and how that strength of will is required for proper manifestation. You know, Gemini, I don't often do love readings, but this kind of does look like a love reading to me this week for you. We have this Knight of Cups coming out in the reverse. Somebody rushing in, proclaiming their love, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It's not really going to lead to anything. This could be friendship too, though. If you have a friend who's returning from the past, somebody who maybe that burned a bridge with you before, they haven't changed. I just feel like you should know that. You probably already do. Geminis are very smart, especially when it comes to other people. The other card we have here is the Sun reversed. So is this person gonna steal all your stuff and pawn it, and you'll never be able to get it back? That's probably not the more likely scenario. Most likely, this person's just gonna waste your time. Everything's gonna end pretty well. You know, maybe you'll just end up wandering off into your separate directions, into the sunset. Here's the most important part, I think, of the message for you this week, Gemini. And it has to do with this Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is a card about your professional reputation, and it can also be about group projects, group work assignments, things like that. Now, because this card is coming out in the reverse, if you do not show strength in this situation with this Knight of Cups, whether that's a friend or a lover returning to you, it has the potential, and I'm not sure how, this is a general reading, but it has the potential to damage your professional reputation in some way. So be very careful this week, Gemini. Hi there, Gemini. Let's talk about messages in the crystal here. So, I'm going to be using this very gnarly looking geode for the scrying this week. This is going to be for September 27th through October 3rd. Someone didn't wish you a happy birthday. Now, a lot of you might be Gemini sun sign, so this would have been something from quite some time ago, a few months ago, that if this person never wished you a happy birthday, and perhaps this is somebody who feasibly would have remembered your birthday, that might be an indicator to you of their level of commitment to your situation and to your well-being. This could be someone who is there when the times are good, and when the times are rough, they're nowhere to be found. You've given them a lot of chances too, I feel like. They're taking you for granted. Because I hear you saying, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing, over and over as you keep doing these favors for this person. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, it doesn't mean anything to me to do this for you. But in fact, what it means overall is that they know that they can come to you and count on you when they need something. But you need to be expending your energies only on the people who are going to reciprocate that, and not focus on the hangers-on and the people who really couldn't care less about what you're doing. I've given you so many chances to... I'm hearing the name Michael too. So for some of you, there might be somebody named Michael who could be a brother, could just be like a close friend that you've known for a very long time. You've been almost like a friend to me. Yeah, I don't think this is necessarily hurting you in any way, but this person just really doesn't care one way or another what's going on with you. And so keeping them around you is going to mean that they continue to ask you for these favors over and over and over again. And you are putting energy into that situation, and that's bringing them back in. But when you stop putting your energies, into that situation, then Michael is going to have to find a new supply. Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad person. No, that's not it. That's not the point here. The point is that you need to be focusing on people, and I think especially like the events of the past couple of years have really brought this into focus for a lot of us, that it is so important to have the people around you who are mutually invested in your well-being and in everyone having a good situation. And somebody who's relying heavily on you, but you can't rely on them, that's creating an imbalance in your life. And you need to allow things like that to leave your life, because it's going to get in the way of your manifestation. So I'm doing the crystal scrying kind of in conjunction with the tarot this month, right? Doing the tarot first and then the crystal scrying. Remember, we have the strength card here. And this is about your strength of will. This is going to be a test of your strength of will. All right, Gemini. So if you would, just gently send me your vibrational questions, and we can check them out. Yes, this is very true. Those who are with thee will guard over thy safety. Those who are not with you will allow you to perish. Gemini, thank you so much for joining me for your forecast this week. Your likes, your comments, and your channel subscriptions are greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for helping me get to 1,500 subscribers. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Cancer. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Cancer, this will be for your week ahead, September 27th through October 3rd. I see you here at the top of the mountain with the Seven of Swords upright, fending off detractors on all sides. But remember that the reason this figure is being attacked so heavily is that they have reached a strategic vantage point. The next card I have for you is the Page of Pentacles reversed. It could be that you are waiting for a job offer, or that you have been applying for jobs and haven't been hearing back. This could be waiting for your next opportunity to come in to make money. And next we have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is upright. This represents a choice that you're going to need to make between two things. Oftentimes, the choice depicted by the Two of Swords, unlike the Four of Cups or the Seven of Cups, is a choice between two fairly equally weighted options. The figure seated in this card is hoodwinked or blindfolded because justice is often blind. So, the best situation might not be readily obvious, but the two choices might be fairly evenly weighted. So next we have the Judgment card, which is different from the Justice card in that this is more about judgment of character, judgment of the work that you have done on yourself. All of this work that I've been putting in getting through the journey of the tarot, from the Fool, through the Hermit, through the Wheel of Fortune, all the way up here to the Judgment card, has that paid off? Am I going to see the improvement based on the effort that I've put in? And we have the Ace of Pentacles here. So that is this new situation coming in for you. It will be coming. this could be a new job, or it could be you starting your own business, or finding a way to make money for yourself. Now, because the Judgment card is here, sometimes that can also indicate that this is a job requiring you to take some kind of exam, like get a real estate license, get a doctor's degree, go through medical school. If you have been really struggling in medical school, like financially, and then also that it's so competitive, this is that opportunity coming through for you. And it could be something similar to that. If it's not going through medical school, it could be another field that you really just feel like you're under attack a lot of the time. I know the financial sector can be a lot like that too. And the final card for your reading this week, Cancer, we have the Lover's card. This is a really beautiful card to end your weekly reading on. It's actually very similar to this Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is air energy, and the Lover's card is associated with the sign of Gemini. So this choice between two things could have been something that you've been contemplating for quite some time. Because although the Lover's card can mean a joyful union between yourself and another person, this could also be getting a job you're so passionate about, or finding a way to earn income that you're very passionate about. This could also be about a choice. The choice that Eve made to eat the apple, even though it meant having to leave paradise. Hello, Cancer. Welcome back. So, Cancer, for the readings this week, I'm going to be using this very gnarly looking geode, and I'm excited about that. Cancer, you've given it your best shot. You really have. Gave it the old college try, so to speak. No one was listening to you for years and years, but you knew that all this hard work would pay off. No, this was far from immediate. This was more like a financial future kind of decision that was made a long time ago, and you are facing your reckoning. Something's divided. Something is like split into two pieces. That there is... Oh, what is this about? What is this about? Something is divided. It could be your financial resources, that for some reason they are split. This could be like between two different kinds of accounts. This could be that some of your money is liquid assets and some of it is in real estate. It's divided in parts. And this must be something like your empire, because I'm getting, back when I was in high school, I took Latin. We had to memorize the opening paragraph to Julius Caesar's dissertation on the Gallic Wars. I don't know if dissertation is the right word, but he talks about how Gaul is divided into 3 parts, and the 3 different tribes of people who live there. Gallia est omnis divisa in partes tres. And for you, it may be that your empire is split into 2 or more parts. And parts of it are very profitable, and then parts of it you are very passionate about, but maybe they aren't quite as profitable. Or maybe all of them are profitable. It's just that you have to pick the one that you like the best, because there's only so much time in a day, and one person alone can only do so many things. Trust me, I know the limitations of that. So, Cancer, your final thought for this evening is give it until October 18th, when Mercury goes direct. A lot of the other planets are going to be going direct or will already be direct at that time. And everything will be much more clear. The sun is going to be entering fellow water sign of Scorpio on the 23rd. That full moon on October 20th is going to be in Aries. And the moon will be in Cancer again on October 25th through the 28th, as it is waning. Just in case you like to map it out in the sky before you map it out in your planner. All right, Cancer, and if you would, send me some questions. Always love to answer your questions. So I have a couple for you. Good fortune is in store for thee, and cultivate thy talents, and adopt a profession supported by fees. Cancer, thank you so much for joining me for your reading this week. Your likes, your comments, and your channel subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for helping me reach 1,500 subscribers. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Leo. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This will be your weekly forecast for September 27th through October 3rd. So firstly, we have the World card reversed. There's not really like a hard and fast past, present, and future to these weekly readings, but this World card coming out reversed like this could be about a completion of a cycle that happened for you recently. The World card is a card of mastery. We have another card of mastery here too. I guess, to be fair, all the cards in the major arcana are technically about some kind of mastery, as it is the path along the tarot. But some are more specifically geared to that than others. Temperance, for example, is the skill of being able to pour the water between those two vessels without spilling any, and at that very extreme angle also. The angel also has the fire triangle on their chest, so they are dealing with the elements of fire and of water simultaneously. These two cards together, you could have gotten a college degree, you could have completed a course of study, you could have gone through a personal revelation that you were doing spirit or like shadow work and have unfolded, like leveled up in that. We have the Five of Wands here also. The Five of Wands here is a card of competition. And now that you've leveled up so much, you could be on a completely different playing field. Competing against completely different, a new group of people and a much more skilled group of people. Leo, I do have you showing up possibly in your reading as the King of Wands. This is someone who rules by charming those around him into conforming to his will. The King of Wands is a highly creative person, coming up with solutions through that creativity that others might not have thought to do. We do have the Tower coming out for you this week also. The Tower is a card of transformational energies, and this could look very destructive at first glance. The Tower card can be a little scary for some. It does mean the change is on the horizon. But you've already been through so much transformation that it's also possible to fall up, to end up in a situation where you've been totally decimated and then find yourself somewhere that's so much better. And that's what I'm hoping for you for this week, Leo. And we do have the Moon card coming out. So the Moon card is a very unclear energy. It is a dark and winding path beset by danger on both sides. On the one bank, we have the feral dog, on the other, the tame one. And it's difficult to know which one you will encounter. the moon card can be about treachery, but that's not necessarily the case. It's more like not seeing people's motivations for what they are. The moon in the week of September 27th, the moon will be starting out in Gemini, and then by the end of the week, it'll be in Virgo, leading up to the new moon that is going to be on October 6th. So this is a waning moon energy, going into the darker phase of the moon, the light closing down. So I'm tempted to pull another card. And indeed, things will be returning from energies that you've put out. So even though you have this unclear path ahead of you, there will be things returning to you to help you navigate it. Hello, Leo. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. For the readings this week, I will be using this very gnarly looking geode. A righteous path has beset you. So rather than having chosen the path ahead of you, it has chosen you. And this can be in very religious terms, although that's not the totality of it, obviously, that there could be spiritual aspects to this, and you are being guided divinely on this path, so that even though things are very unclear at times, and it's very difficult to see the way forward, that you will be receiving divine guidance about this, and that it is fated to occur for you. So just keep your eyes and your ears open and use your discernment. Use your discernment, which is key. Just because you hear, oh, you should do this thing, make sure that you're questioning. Your guides will not alienate you for questioning. But if you are not asking good questions about the path that you should take, you don't know for sure who's answering. Because even though you do have divine guides and they do have your best interest at heart, other influences can creep in if you're not careful, and they can be just as persuasive. So make sure that you're not just listening to the divine guidance, but that you're also using your own powers of discernment and asking questions along the way. Now, obviously, you don't need to overanalyze every little thing, but make sure that when you're getting, a lot of times you'll get very clear signs and signals. And when that occurs, you don't need to question that as strongly as when you're it's more likely to happen in a situation where you are pleading for guidance so that you can take steps forward, and you might be getting mixed messages, or it might just be kind of unclear. Or you might not be getting a response. And not getting a response is also a response. So just remember, so the Three of Wands card here, I think of it very much like the threefold law. Although the threefold law itself, I don't necessarily subscribe to. But the way that I see this card is that all the energies that you've put out into the world are going to be returning to you threefold. So that's kind of how I read that energy. I've given you a better chance at survival than you would have had on your own. Somebody could be saying that to you, and maybe there is some validity to their statement, but it's a very harsh sentiment to be expressing to someone that you claim to have their best interest at heart. So just be mindful of that too. Like any guidance that you get where someone says, have I ever failed you before? Or, there's just listen to the tone. If it's an energy that you can trust, have I ever failed you before? That's a building of loyalty, but you're better off with me than you would be on your own is not a very good tone to have when you're listening to spirit guides. So, and just remember to be in a listening mode, be in a receptive mode. So that means kind of having quiet time to yourself, time where you are not watching TV or videos or on your phone. And I also have kind of a difficult time with this, but sometimes I'll come in here to the alcove where I film these videos and I'll meditate and I'll work with cards when I have questions of my own that I would like answered. So if you have a space like that where you can kind of sit and contemplate these things, that will be very helpful to you during this time. So if you would, Leo, please direct your questions here into the cover of this book. And I will that's a particularly good question. Very salient, very salient. Whatever changes thou mayst undergo, they will be for thy benefit. All right, Leo. Well, thank you so much for joining me for your weekly forecast. I always greatly appreciate your presence. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions to the channel are also greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for helping me reach 1,500 subscribers. It really means a lot to me. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hi Virgo, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is going to be for the week ahead, September 27th through October 3rd. Let's see What changes are in store for you, Virgo? We do have the Four of Wands. This is a wish fulfillment card of sorts. It is not as strong as the Nine of Cups, but it is the 1111 wish card. It is about celebrations. It is about weddings and unions. Oh, I had a thought and I just lost it. It will be back. The Ace of Swords is here also, if you can see it. The Ace of Swords is about you implementing positive changes into your own life. So this is not the kind of cataclysmic change that you get with the Tower. It is more like you pushing forward for change. The Ace of Swords is like the Ace of Spades. So there are some links to the Death card here. But again, there's much more control over it. It's wielded by your hand. I remember what I was going to say about the Four of Wands. It's like the first book in a series. You get a happily ever after, but you know that there's going to be a sequel. Now, the next card that I have for your reading this week is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is about feeling trapped. Now, it's entirely possible that you're not actually trapped. In some ways, if you squint or cross your eyes, you could even mistake a Four of Wands situation for the Eight of Swords. Very much like a gilded cage, right? Let's see what else we have here. Oh, we have two sevens. Two sevens. That's 14. I'm kidding. We have the Seven of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. So you have a lot of different options open to you. Some of them are great. Some of them are not so good. The Seven of Pentacles here is about hard work. And there's an air of dissatisfaction in that Seven of Pentacles also. Sometimes based around that hard work. I'm sorry, I live in a warehouse. It's very loud here. I do apologize. But your options you might be looking at which ones of these you're going to have to work even harder, build something from the ground up, which options are based on things that you're already doing, and based on what you feel like is going to take you where you want to go. And indeed, Virgo, it looks like you will be narrowing those options down considerably. And this option being the best one, don't ignore it. The Four of Cups is kind of a restful energy in that this figure is not actively choosing any of the cups available. But they're there, they can see them, and they're just kind of contemplating their choices in the matter. perhaps by the end of the week, you will have made a decision. Virgo, 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 Virgo. For the readings this week, I'm using this very gnarly looking quartz crystal, I think it is. It's druzy, which is really neat. There's lots of little sparkles on the surface. I don't know if that comes through on camera or not. I really like the shape of this geode. And I love really ugly geodes. So if you know where I can find just the really ugly ones with lots of like green, coppery, powdery inclusions, let me know. Virgo, there's something like he doesn't have time for you anymore. That could be an employer, it could be a partner, it could be like a friend or somebody who's kind of left you in the dust. But they're continuing to ask you questions about yourself. So they don't have time for you, but they also still want to know what you're up to and know what's going on in your life. This could even be a former employer. Somebody who just is kind of like keeping you around as an option. But I really don't feel like this is a romantic situation. It feels much more like a potential employer who's called you in for like several interviews. And they're just kind of, it's gotten to the point where you're just kind of wasting each other's time. Because it's really, if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. But you're not waiting around for that. That's not what I'm saying. But this is more like part of the defining process. So this interaction that you've had has put you in a position where you're starting to evaluate the value of your time, of your energy, of your resources. And asking yourself the hard questions of like, what am I good enough at? What is going to take me where? The Seven of Cups, this is also like a bunch of different paths. So you don't have to think about them as much as just like cups. The Seven of Cups is like a card of illusion also. And all of these paths, some of them are really paths and some of them are dead ends. They could take you into the backwoods and cause you to get lost. I feel like this person might have asked you a lot of questions about yourself, but they weren't asking you the right questions. Like, what is your starting salary expectation? So that when you were interacting with this person, you could kind of tell like where it was going, what the gist of this situation would be. And you're getting further and further now away from places where people like that are going to be having any kind of influence on your life. That you're starting to understand more and more each time something like this happens, how to avoid that particular pitfall in the future and to bypass all of these non-paths and make your way to the right ones. All right, Virgo, if you would, kindly direct your questions here into the cover of this book, and I will choose for you an answer. Make sure you're asking the right questions, of course. So this is one. There's going to be two, okay? If thou art cozened out of thy upper garment, cast not away thy under one to recover it. It's kind of like not throwing good money after bad. I just thought that was funny. Few difficulties await thee. I'm getting smarter and smarter, Virgo. Thank you so much for joining me for your forecast this week. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know down below. Your likes and your comments are greatly appreciated. And thank you for helping me get to 1,500 subscribers. Until we meet again, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hi Libra, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Libra, this is going to be your reading for September 27th through October 3rd. I can see you're leaving some hard times behind you. We have a couple of really strong major arcana cards coming out here for you also. We have the Empress. Now, the Empress is governed by the planet Venus, and Venus is your ruling planet also, Libra. So there is some tied in energy there. This can be a partner coming in. The Empress has to do with fertility. So can be about the creation of human life, but can also be about the creation of a new business, of a new project, of a new endeavor in your life, and is very good for your financial situation. We have the Star card here. The Star is Aquarius's card, so we have fellow air sign energy there. And the Star card is about all of your hopes and dreams coming to fruition, coming into focus at this time. We have a Page of Wands in the reverse. You might be having trouble with your energy levels or in generating interest around a certain project. That's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, because we also have the Queen of Pentacles here, and the Queen of Pentacles combined with the Empress is a very excellent energy for financial endeavors. Very excellent energy for that. So, probably something that you've been working on for quite some time. This week, Mercury will be retrograde in your sign. So, you might be noticing slowdowns with shipping. You might be noticing disconnects in communication with others, and especially as it regards partnerships or contracts. So just be aware of that for your week ahead. But overall, it looks very fortuitous. Libra, you're showing up very strongly in your reading this week. The final card for your reading is the Justice card. And of course, the Justice card is the card of your sign. The Justice card is also about balance and about any inequalities anywhere getting ironed out. The Justice card is all about homeostasis. Homeostasis. So people talk about equilibrium, right? But actually, you don't want your human form, you don't want your physical body in equilibrium. You want it to be in homeostasis. If all of the chemical processes in your body achieve equilibrium, that's not good for the continuation of your spirit attachment to your physical form. So, what you want to achieve is true balance, and the kind of balance that fosters your existence. So we do have this Justice card coming in and equalizing any situations in your life this week that are out of balance. Libra, thank you for joining me. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. For the readings this week, I am using this very gnarly looking geode. I love it immensely. If you know where to get really ugly geodes, please let me know down in the comments. Libra, it does look like you've had some hard times in the recent past, that there are things where you were working very hard and not seeing the appropriate reward for your work. It could be that the job in which you were working was not paying you what you deserved, and it can be very difficult to correct that either they need to give you a raise or you need to get a different job. A lot of companies really just don't pay people enough these days. So what you're working through this week is the idea that somehow something you've done has put you in this position, because I don't think it's that at all. Our choices can, of course, affect the bulk of our existences, but there are always going to be these extenuating circumstances that are not only unforeseen, but uncontrollable for you. So that it's just very difficult to overcome certain circumstances. But you will be doing that. We did have the star card coming out for your tarot reading. And so I think that it's not just that that you worked very hard. I think there was a stroke of luck there, almost like wishing on a shooting star. It could have been like an emoji spell that you cast on a social media post. I know those seem really hokey, but it's all about setting your intention. There's really not much difference between doing something like that and casting a sigil. So do keep that in mind. It's what works for you. It doesn't have to be steeped in mysticism. So what you want to be working on this week are things relevant to past relationships. Because remember, we are dealing with Mercury retrograde in your sign of Libra. And this is not necessarily to heal that situation with the other person. This is purely for your own closure, and this is so you can move on. And I feel this strongly for some of you, and of course this doesn't just have to do with your romantic relationships. This could be healing yourself in regards to a parental situation. It could be about past friendships which didn't work out. It can even be about previous job situations. And considering how the tarot reading laid out, I would emphasize that for you. And especially because with this Page of Wands in the reverse here, I feel like there's a lack of enthusiasm on your part. And I think it's strongly rooted in this feeling like no matter what you do, it's not going to be good enough. All of us have these feelings from time to time, Libra, and there's no reason why that has to destroy the rest of your life. Destroy is a very extreme way of putting it, but think of it like a typical teenage girl from the 80s running into her room and slamming the door and being like, "You're ruining my life. You're ruining my life. I'm in a John Hughes movie, but you're ruining my life." I mean, I guess Ginger Lynn was a bit of an 80s icon, too. I almost said John Holmes movie there. Inappropriate. All right, Libra. So, if you would, please send me your questions. Direct them here at the cover of this book, and I will pluck them out of the air and put them here into the book. So let's see, we've got one. And we've got another one over here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. shalt be happier than heretofore. But just because you are happier now than you have been before, don't be afraid that this is the end of the line for that happiness train. Don't worry that because you're very happy now, that bad things are right around the corner. Libra, thank you so much for joining me this week. If you enjoyed this reading, please let me know. Your likes and comments are greatly appreciated, and your subscriptions as well. Thank you for helping me reach 1,500 subscribers. It's a very big milestone for me, and I'm incredibly appreciative. And until we meet again, I look forward to seeing you very soon. Scorpio, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. There we go. So, this reading is going to be for September 27th through October 3rd. We have a couple of nines here. There is the Nine of Cups in the reverse. I think things could actually be going quite well for you right now, but something about your perception of the situation is slightly off. And I say that because the next card we have coming out is the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords, of course, has to do with worry, nightmares, anxiety, and general feelings of unease when you should be getting sleep in your very comfortable bed, right? And we have the Page of Swords here also. With this Page of Swords, I'm very much getting the chance, the inkling that that you are trying to discern what is going on around you. That perhaps you understand that your perceptions of this current situation might be slightly skewed, and you are working your best to remedy that. This Page of Swords could be about your own discernment and paying attention to what's going on in your surroundings. Together, too, when we have the Page of Swords is holding one sword, and we already have this Nine of Swords. You could be working towards some kind of ending, cutting something out of your life that is causing you this anxiety. Indeed, progressing from the Nine of Cups reversed, we do have the Ten of Cups reversed. Scorpio, especially in your water energy, I'm not entirely sure how your perceptions of this situation could be so far out of line with the realities. I do think that you sense that something is coming to a close. Now, the Ten of Cups reversed like this can sometimes be about a relationship breaking up. That is possible. And this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, although it certainly could be. It would be possibly a friendship, possibly even an employment situation, depending on how you feel about that job. So you start out as the Page of Swords, and we progress to the Knight of Swords. And this Knight of Swords, of course, is a slightly more aggressive energy than what we have with the Page of Swords. So far, this is a very, we've got some very specific elemental energies going on. We have swords and we've got cups. So swords is logic, cups are emotion and feeling. And I feel like you, Scorpio, depending on what your other placements are, it looks like you are approaching this situation with logic rather than with emotion. Venus is in your sign right now. And will be until October 8th is when Venus moves into Sagittarius. Oh wait, there's something else going on October 8th. I think it's the new moon is occurring on the 6th. Okay, so that's what I was thinking of. And that week of October 8th is also when a lot of these planets which have been retrograde are going to start going direct. So a lot of these feelings that you're having may be tied to situations that are feeding off those retrograde energies. So hopefully in another week, some of these things might start to kind of peel away. Not that astrology dictates our lives, but rather, it's sort of like a situation where if you're not angry or irritated, but maybe you have a funny look on your face, and it prompts somebody to say to you, like, what are you so mad about? And then you start to get irritated because this person has said, why are you so mad? That's kind of how these planetary energies can influence us. And Scorpio, just like in the Libra reading right before you, you're coming out as the final card in your own reading this week. And you're coming out reversed. So we do have the Death card, and upright, of course, signifying change and transformation, even if that change is unwelcome or that transformation is painful. Sometimes when we have the Death card coming out reversed like this, it is because of stagnation in situations. Overwhelmingly in this reading, we have these cup energies, which would be associated with, well, Okay, so we have 2 cups. We also have the death card, which is your card in the major arcana of the tarot. So these energies are coming out reversed. And you are aligned much more closely at this time with the sword energies of this reading. So now what we have is the 10 swords here, plus the 1 sword, bringing us full circle back around to the Ace of Swords. If you follow my blade arithmetic, that there is going to be the ending of a cycle here. It might be kind of painful and you might be avoiding it. But this Knight of Swords is a very strong energy. It's a very energetic, flowing movement. This will carry you through into your next endeavor. And do remember that we just have several planets retrograde right now that are about to go direct. So a lot of the things that were part of that retrograde cycle will be ending at this time. And there's really no need to be overly upset or overwrought or anxious about those things. That's just the cyclical nature of our lives. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Scorpio. I'm going to be using this very interesting, rough-looking geode for the crystal scrying this week. And there's something about changing diapers, or like dirty diapers, and they're just kind of like everywhere. And it's dirty diapers are typically, so unless they get ripped open, and this, hear me out, okay? I know that this is an ASMR crystal scrying, but it's my duty to provide the messages. Remember, we will keep it deluxe. But hear me out on this, okay? Dirty diapers are typically really gross, but if you do it right, they're very well contained. If you leave them sitting somewhere, the fluids leak out, make a mess. Obviously, they have these things like diaper genies and other devices where you can lock them tightly away so they don't smell up the rest of the house. It is a fact of having a small child or a baby who is not yet toilet trained. Trust me, I have a child. I've dealt with dirty diapers. I have a child, and I did have a younger sibling that I was old enough to change their diapers. But it's kind of like, there's all kinds of diapers that end up accumulating in your life. And it can be something like a phone bill. It can be something like a car note. But it's not just financial. There's also like dietary things, like eating the same thing over and over again, and that thing not being particularly good for you, and that turning into a situation in your life. And physical things too. That knot in your shoulder that won't go away, and you try to ignore it rather than going and getting a massage or getting some kind of device to work the knots out. All of these things can accumulate in the corners of your life, and the fluid starts seeping out of them and ruining the surfaces underneath. And sometimes people leave theirs just on the ground in parking lots. Walmart has a reputation for this, but honestly, I've seen dirty diapers in all kinds of parking lots. It's especially frustrating when there's a garbage receptacle not 20 feet away. Spoiler. There's just, something about it that spoils its surroundings. Sometimes something can have a spot of mold on it, and you can feasibly scrape that off and consume the rest of the item. But even a perfectly pristine skin, completely intact, if you had something like an orange or a banana and it was sitting next to a dirty diaper, you probably would not eat that. Even though, feasibly speaking, it would be just fine. Sometimes, I'm just going to assume that if it was your child, you would be disposing of these items in a compassionate, shall we say, and professional manner. But a lot of times when there are dirty diapers that are sitting abandoned or derelict or accumulating around the corners of a particular space, they are items which have no association to you whatsoever, that it's something that you have not brought into this environment and something which you are not generating. So that's where I think we get some of this from. Maybe a little bit of this. And feeling a little frustrated about it, wanting a change. All right, Scorpio, if you would kindly direct your questions here into the cover of this book. And I will pluck them here. And incorporate them into my Napoleonic Oracle. And today, S is for Scorpio. So I'm going to read to you from the S page. And I'll read you. These two are back to back. Brood not over thy misfortunes, but exert thyself, the future. And good fortune is in store for thee. Scorpio, thank you so much for joining me this week. If you enjoyed this reading, please let me know down below. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions are much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you for helping me reach 1,500 subscribers. It is immensely meaningful for me to have hit that milestone. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Sagittarius, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Sagittarius, this is going to be the reading for your week ahead, September 27th through October 3rd. It's looking very good so far. I'll just go in order. We're going to start out with the Fool, the beginning of the journey. So there could be a brand new start for you. And I encourage you to move forward without a lot of preconceived notions and without a lot of your baggage over past situations. The next card we have coming out is the Wheel of Fortune. So we have the 1 card and we have the 10 card. And most of the, well, let me correct myself there. All of the minor arcana are on that 10 cycle, and then we have the court cards on top of that. So you could also see this as having completed 1 full cycle of the minor arcana. And this could be different for all of you. For some of you, this will be money. Some of you, it might be love. Some of you, it could be ideologies. And for others of you, it might be energy cycles. Especially for you who are energy workers, light workers, magicians, etc. The Suit of Wands and Fire can be very representative of the ebb and flow of your energies in a cyclical manner. Now, this could be financial for you because we do have the 9 of Pentacles here, and we have this woman who's very comfortable. She has all these assets. She probably has worked very hard in her life and is now reaping the rewards of her labor. It is possible she's always lived a life of leisure, too. I don't want to discount those who have generational wealth on their side. She has time for hobbies like falconry and lives on a beautiful, sprawling estate in the middle of the California coast or the Mediterranean, whichever you prefer. We have the 8 of Pentacles here. So some kind of job, reaching a point where you're very established. You're very established in this field. And this is a job that you have had for some time. It looks like you are very busy also. We have the Four of Swords reversed, and the Four of Swords marks your periods of rest. So you could be experiencing some level of burnout, even if you are quite fulfilled in this career. It could be draining a lot of your energies. And the final card for your reading this week, Sagittarius, is going to be striking a balance between doing what you love, being financially successful, and getting the rest that your body needs and that you deserve. This figure is juggling these two pentacles in this sideways figure 8, the lemnisket being the symbol for eternity. True balance makes it possible to do these things for a very, very long time. None of us live forever, of course. All right, Sagittarius. Welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome. Do you find it disorienting for me to say that in the middle of your segment? For the readings this week, I will be using this very gnarly looking geode that I'm quite fond of. Sagittarius, the people around you are transforming their energies to be a little more like you. And it can be a little disorienting when this happens, that you don't understand what it is about you that they like so much. And then they start picking up on your mannerisms and things like that. Mirroring type energies, where people start, when they are aligned with somebody and you're creating a bond between the two of you, sometimes people will start mirroring mannerisms and behaviors. And this might be a little disorienting for you. It does have kind of like that being John Malkovich energy to it. But I think that you're just giving people what they want. That a lot of those things you're not particularly connected to. And so when people are mirroring these mannerisms that you affect because you are appealing to others, not that you're being fake, I don't want it to sound like that, but we all have these little things that we do to make ourselves more appealing to other people. Like putting on a human skin and showering. But for you, because they are little more than, it's like something disposable that you would, like, these are like the K-cups of your personality, you know, serving a purpose, providing caffeine, and disposable. So when people are picking up on these kind of disposable aspects of your personality and emulating that, you wonder if they're actually seeing the bigger picture, if they're actually getting it. And I think you might be one of the signs this week that the tarot cards are not totally connected to the crystal scrying. That is why I wanted to do these two things together, because sometimes I feel like the tarot might be a little incomplete, and the crystal scrying gives me the opportunity to kind of fill in some of those gaps. So I'm going to try out doing it deluxe. Giving you deluxe readings. Don't fall asleep on me. No, it's fine. It's fine if you go to sleep. That's why we're here, isn't it? Alright, Sagittarius, if you would, kindly direct your questions here into this book. And I will pluck them out of the air one by one. And even your inquisitive nature cannot hide from me. Q is for question. So we will answer your question. Thou hast the love of others beside that of the darling of thy heart. Sagittarius, I think you could be very popular over the week ahead. Use your powers wisely. Thank you for joining me, Sagittarius. If you enjoyed this reading, please let me know. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions are all greatly appreciated. Thank you to everyone for helping me reach 1,500 subscribers. That's quite a milestone for me, and I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Capricorn, this is going to be your reading for the week ahead, September 27th through October 3rd. There's a lot of people here who would like to speak to you. First, we'll deal with this earth energy, the King of Pentacles showing up. This could be you, even Capricorn, showing up in this reading. The King of Pentacles is somebody who is very financially established. Very financially established. Could be an older person also. Not necessarily elderly, but older. Excuse me. Sorry about that. We do have the Hierophant showing up here. Now, together, you can see there's little bulls on the arms of the King of Pentacles throne. So this could be a Taurus person. Because the Hierophant is Taurus's card in the major arcana. The Hierophant leads by moral imperative, a spiritual leader, someone who holds a fair number of secrets of their own, not in the same manner as the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a much more oracular type energy, but the Hierophant has to do with the power that comes with spiritual leadership. We have the Knight of Wands here too. Now, Knight of Wands is fire of fire energy. This is a lot of energy and swift moving and can be all consuming. There are quite a few wands showing up in your reading this week, Capricorn. So we also have the Six of Wands here, which can be some kind of victory, literally resting on your laurels. Although I don't think that's what will be taking place, because we have this Ace of Wands here and this Knight of Wands here. You could be feeling very sexually charged at this time also. The Ace of Wands is about creative power and potency, and is obviously a very phallic card. I see a lot of success here, a lot of triumph so far. It should be a good week for you, Capricorn. And yes, the most important element of all, that you are coming out of a period of self-discovery and searching. So we have the Hermit showing up here in the reverse. That you have gotten to this point. Maybe not because, but in conjunction with all of the spiritual work that you have been doing on yourself. I consider the Hermit and the Hierophant to be much more closely paired than the Hierophant would be paired to the High Priestess, actually. Because so many religious groups require celibacy of their clergy, it would make sense that the Hierophant and the High Priestess would not necessarily be coupled the way the Emperor and the Empress would. But the ascetic and the religious leader are often one and the same. Alright, Capricorn. Well, it looks like you are feeling much better now than you were a few months ago. Was I worried? Not too worried. Capricorns are very smart and resourceful. I knew you'd be fine. Welcome back, Capricorn. Welcome back, welcome back. For the readings this week, I am using this very gnarly looking geode. And what are we talking about this week, Capricorn? Hearts, stars, horseshoes, clovers and blue moons, pots of gold and rainbows, and my red balloons. Are the marshmallows the best part of the Lucky Charms? Well, it's debatable. Without the marshmallows, it's just kicks with fun shapes, right? More or less. It's like a frosted Cheerio type consistency. But if you have a bag of just Lucky Charms marshmallows, that's not very delicious. It's a little chalky, a little grating on the teeth. You may as well get a whole roll of antacids and start chewing on those. So although the cereal part of the Lucky Charms is not what makes it exciting, it is an essential part of the Lucky Charms experience. The Capricorns are all adults. So, why am I talking about Lucky Charms? There's something like that for you, Capricorn, that it's an integral part of the whole experience. Not the totality, and not the most exciting part. But you can't have your life being all marshmallow and no fiber. I feel like there's something for you this week that's a little bit like that. That it might not be the most glorious part of this experience overall, but you take time to appreciate it nonetheless. like a scarf and a pair of gloves and it's not a fedora. It's not a fedora. It's like one of those 40s style hats and a trench coat. So I see a lot of outerwear coming out for you, Capricorn. It's not particularly cold yet. Certainly not cold for that kind of wear, unless you're very far north. I see slushy, snowed streets and cop shoes trudging through the... I call them cop shoes, but not necessarily because you are a police person. Just that these shoes look very all business, tactical. These are tactical type footwear. G-man shoes. Shiny, black. Trudging through this sludge. It's a very urban area. This could be Chicago. I don't feel like it's New York City. It feels like a big feels like a big miss. This is a big miss for me, apparently. A large Midwestern city. That's all, folks. I don't usually stumble over my words like that. What is going on with this person in this trench coat? That's our King of Pentacles there. Why is this man, who could be dressed in fine regalia, sitting on this throne, trudging through slush in one of the bleakest places on the planet? I'm joking, of course. I live in Los Angeles. There's a message, there's a warning, and it has to be given in person. Your lights are about to be shut off. He doesn't feel the sting of this statement. He almost relishes in this. That there's somebody out there who is really taking pleasure out of delivering misery to others. It's what makes him successful. It's one of the fringe benefits. It's not a very good ASMR reading. What else is going on with Capricorn this week? Just that you're just going to have a good week. Sometimes the things about your job that others would consider drudgery are the things that you derive the most enjoyment from. Capricorn, if you would, please direct your questions in my direction so that I can put them here in this book. Wouldn't you like to know? He who inhabits the dungeon will escape. And these are kind of back to back, but I feel like they're both supposed to come out this week. The first partner will be young, handsome, and chaste. Thy second, exactly the reverse. Of course, that could refer to romance, but it could also be at a job, especially a law firm, or perhaps in the financial sector. Capricorn, thank you so much for joining me this week. I have to say that the past couple weeks with you have been a lot more interesting than the past few years. If you enjoyed this reading, please let me know. Your likes, comments, and channel subscriptions are greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just hit 1,500 subscribers not long ago, and I'm incredibly grateful to all of you for helping me make that happen. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Aquarius, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Aquarius, this is going to be your reading for the week ahead of September 27th through October 3rd. It looks like some of you are going through a breakup. Or that some of you might have both of your parents pass away at the same time. How could all of that be true at once? This could also be your parents getting a divorce. We have the Five of Cups here. And the Five of Cups, of course, is about disappointment. We've got the Two Cups here in the background that are still full, though. This could also be that you go through a particular disappointment, but that your parents are there to support you. And I say that very rarely do we have the King and the Queen of Cups come out right next to each other in a reading. And you know that I've shuffled this deck quite a bit because I've used it for quite a few readings on this channel, and I haven't sorted it in between. So, as I was mentioning, it could have been a breakup between you and another person. It could be somebody else's breakup that's very disappointing to you. But of course, it could be a disappointment that you are bearing at this time. And that would make these two cups back here the cups held by the King and Queen. So this could be your parents. This could be another couple that you're friends with, that you're very close to, and provides you support this time. The King and Queen of Cups are both very nurturing figures. And the Queen, I think, illustrates this point, the most effectively, in that this figure has their back turned to everyone, but that the queen is facing them. Even more people coming out for you, Aquarius, in the reading this month. We have the Queen of Swords coming out here, and she is fortunately upright. The Queen of Swords speaking her truth, even if it hurts people. Not because it hurts people, but even though it might hurt people. The Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups are facing in opposite directions. Swords are an active energy, and the element of air, your element. Water is a passive element, a receptive element. The chalice, symbolic, of course, of the womb. The Queen of Swords could be you in this reading, Aquarius. We do have the Three of Swords reversed here also. A very nasty argument could have been averted because of your willingness to speak the truth. There could have also been a situation where you chose disappointment over this argument, or that the disappointment could have led to an argument, but you spoke up about it and you spoke the truth about it, and perhaps the argument was averted. And the final card for your reading this week is the Hanged Man. Elementally, the Hanged Man is the card of water in the major arcana, and is also somewhat aligned to the planet Neptune because of this correspondence. So, something very interesting is that your fellow fixed sign, Scorpio, also had a similar split in their reading, where they had cups, and they had swords, and then a major arcana card for the final card of the reading, which was aligned with the energy of cups. So if you have Scorpio strongly placed in your chart, I do recommend watching that segment. Especially, but not limited to, if you happen to have Venus in Scorpio, because that is the current transit. The Hanged Man is somebody who might make a sacrifice for the greater good, but that could be to their own detriment. This figure is also hanging upside down by one foot, which can't be terribly comfortable, certainly, and is not a sustainable position, but is hanging in stasis. Can't move, can't really. We assume, of course, that his hands are tied behind his back, and that otherwise he might be capable of getting himself down and out of that predicament. This is a position of penitence that oftentimes things like pillories or stockades or other similar items were used punitively and to shame petty criminals. So there's an element of that about the Hanged Man also. His position on this card is the inverse of the dancing woman on the World card. From this reading, it does look very much like you might have made a sacrifice in a situation that was very disappointing to you, but that ended up being better overall for the rest of the situation. And you do have supporters in this. Aquarius, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. For the readings this week, Aquarius, I'm using this very gnarly looking geode. And if you know a great source for gnarly looking geodes, please let me know down below. Oh, that's a different noise. I haven't been doing that. So, Aquarius, what is going on for you for the week ahead? There could be like an abandoned or a derelict building involved. A demolition crew shows up in the middle of the night and starts tearing down this building, but it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. They feel like they have to do it under cover of darkness because they're not supposed to be demolishing this building. Something like an insurance payout could be involved. Excessive starvation tactics. What does that refer to? There's also like smoking something out of this building. Gosh, this is obscure. Sorry, they're knocking on my neighbor's door. I hope that's not too loud in the final reading. The building's got promiscuous termites, rat infestation, but is on the National Historical Registry or something like that, and therefore they have to try to find a way to preserve and protect it. And you are on the side of getting this building demolished. You are on the side of putting this antiquated structure out of its misery. And perhaps this has made you unpopular with certain groups of people. I'm not entirely certain what this would look like in each of your individual lives, okay? So when I say that it's an antique building. See something like a textile mill, or like a, it looks to me a lot like in Twin Peaks, the sawmill. And remember, they had like the explosion there, or something like that. So this demolition crew, they're showing up. I do see them showing up with these large machines, like the apatosaurus digging device. I don't know what those are called. Steam shovel, maybe? Is that what it's called? And steamrollers and bulldozers and things like that. So they have shown up with these things. But obviously, it's supposed to look like an accident. How can we make this look like it was bound to happen anyway? Make it look like this building just collapsed in the middle of the night and that we had nothing to do with it. But there is no fire here. There's a lot of water, but no fire. There could be some kind of slow leak that is used to erode the under structures of the building also. And this might be happening to you as we speak. And I don't know why it would be happening to you. This situation, it looks like it started out as something that was happening to you. And then you took control and responsibility for your part in it. And that's why we have the Hanged Man down at the bottom. This is something that the structural integrity may have been sound at some point, but it has been eroded as by a leak over time, so that when these bulldozers show up in the middle of the night, all they have to do is just tap the wall lightly in order for the whole structure to come crumbling down. And Aquarius, that's going to apply to all of you slightly differently. And if you would, please direct your questions this way. Let's see. What further this way? Yes. The stranger cannot return at present. So this could have been a situation where you thought you knew someone, and turns out you didn't know them the way that you thought you did. That either they had misrepresented themselves or you had misread them. Aquarius, thank you so much for joining me for your reading this week. If you enjoyed it, please let me know down below. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions are all greatly appreciated. thank you to everyone for helping me reach 1,500 subscribers. That is quite a landmark for me. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Pisces. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Pisces, this will be your reading for the week ahead. September 27th through October 3rd. So first off, we have the Devil in the reverse. You could be leaving behind you something which was controlling you terribly. The Devil can be our vices. The Devil can also be illness, or someone who has really got you under their thumb. And I can see a departure here with the Six of Swords. So it is possible that you are physically leaving a place to get away from whatever this devil represents. We have a very defensive energy here too, Pisces. This is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, this person has set up this kind of fence here. Now, it's not a perfect fence. They are but one person left to guard this particular stretch. Guard whatever it is that they still have. This person has a bandage on their head that they've already been through quite a bit of conflict and would just like to protect what is still there. There's some very protective energies coming out in this reading, Pisces. We have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. You can see that this figure is holding so tightly onto that pentacle that's on their lap, trying to conserve as much as possible their own energies. And we have a fairly non-Piscean energy here with the King of Swords. The King of Swords, I wouldn't say lacks empathy, but that's definitely not the trait for which you would come to him. This King of Swords is heir of air energy. So if you have a lot of air signs in your chart, this King of Swords might be you tapping into those energies over the week ahead to protect your own interests. Now, the King of Swords is in the upright here. So this is somebody who's very fairly minded, somebody who's interested in the truth of the situation, the equality of the situation, and the justice of the situation, and protecting those things. The King of Swords can also use that sword cut out anything that is no longer serving him. And of course, air energies purify and clear out by blowing things away. Smoke and pollution. We have a really wonderful outcome for you from all of this, and that is the Knight of Pentacles upright. This is money coming into you quickly. He is riding as fast as he can to bring those pentacles into you, Pisces. Welcome back, Pisces. Welcome back. It's been so long. I'm kidding, it's been like 5 seconds. Pisces, for the readings this week, I'm using this very gnarly looking geode. I love really gnarly geodes. The sparkly ones are fun and all, but I like the ones that look dusty on the inside, no matter how much you clean them, and just generally have a very kind of crusty appearance. Pisces, it really has been so long. Something for you. There was this song that my kid used to like a lot that was from one of those fan-made My Little Pony music videos. And it was about the pony smashing factory. Let's see if I can pin that down. That was a line from it, though. It's been so long. Oh, that I've been here. It's like kind of being like kept prisoner somewhere where you know that the end outcome is that they are trying to kill you. Was the gist, I think, of that particular video. Yes, I know, but he was also into Five Nights at Freddy's around this time. And we watched the Walden Files together, so I am involved in his consumption of fantasy violence. This beautiful purple snake, and it looks like a cobra. It's got this hood. It's very poisonous, but it's also very beautiful. Oh, purple like this. That could be what you are getting away from. It is important for you to separate yourself from that, because that is what is separating you from this potential for money coming in. Coming up in this week, I don't think you're going to have much of a choice. I think it's going to kind of happen for you. The color purple to me it's very dark, but it is not the absence of color, which would be black. So the thing about purple is that I'm fairly goth, but I'm not the kind of person who would wear all black. I would, however, wear all purple. It's the most gothy color aside from black. There's something dangerous and edgy about it. And so this thing is showing up as this purple snake because it's trying to trick you into thinking that it's not evil. It's like, but I'm not devoid of color. Look, I'm purple. Division of resources. I think I got this for you in a previous week, Pisces, possibly, about like this compartmentalization of all your resources and like putting different kinds of things in different boxes. But this is a little bit different from like a strictly organizational energy, because I feel like you're earmarking parts of your energy and literally parts of yourself to be doled out in these little doses to different people. It'd be very much like this, wouldn't it? The Four of Pentacles in the reverse. So yeah, I feel like, and I feel like I haven't pulled one of these moon cards for anyone this time around, but I just got the inclination that I should do this. These are the lunar cycle cards. This is what I call the lunacy expansion deck, that you can use this with any reading to kind of get a better idea of the overall energy based on the moon cycle. And another thing, and I'm just going to use the card on the bottom of the deck, another thing you can get from this is timing. So we have waning gibbous. The next waning gibbous experience, because the full moon, of course, would have been on Monday, September 20th. So the next full moon after is going to be October 20th. So the waning gibbous moon is going to be the remainder of this week from October 21st through the 24th, leading up to, but not quite, it's going to be like the week before Halloween. The fourth quarter moon is occurring here on the 28th. So it would be proper the 21st through the 27th, about a week of this waning gibbous moon. That might be when to expect this money coming into you very quickly. All right, Pisces, if you would, please direct your questions here into the cover of this book, and I will tuck them gently between the pages. This way. It saith, thou hast enemies who are endeavoring to render thee unhappy. Be thou thine own advocate, and when thou dost travel, providence will protect thee. So I've given you quite a bit to work with, Pisces. And I'm doing this because I really sense that you've given over quite a bit of your energy to other people and to other things. But I think that you will be having a very good week ahead of you, especially with the prospect of this money coming in. Pisces, thank you so much for joining me this week. If you enjoyed the reading, please let me know. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions are all greatly appreciated. Thank you, 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 thank you for everyone. Subscribe to my channel for helping me reach 1,500 subscribers. That really means a lot to me. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon.